Hey, if you haven't beaten Xenoblade 3 yet, I would not recommend you to watch this video. This video spoils the entirety of the main story of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So if you haven't, put this in your watch later folder so you don't get spoiled, and come back when you're ready. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. You ever look at somebody and wonder how many different iterations of them are in parallel universes? Just me? Well, unlike in the real one where we can't answer that, Noah of Xenoblade 3 has a more definitive answer. So today we'll be looking at all of the Noahs of Xenoblade 3 and their fate. First, let's take a look at the Noah we all know and love. They originate from Colony 4 and found 3 lifelong companions in Uni, Lands, and Riku. This version, though, ended up going on to do crazy things, all because one Nopon decided to give him a funky-looking sword called the Lucky 7. And this ends up leading him to take down Mobius and change the fate of the world. He ends up going on a huge adventure on this quest, and through him and the 4 Agnian soldiers also there on the fateful night when they became Ouroboros, they are able to awaken the 2 queens and unite the whole world. He's even able to learn what love is before the worlds end up parting and vows to meet up with Mio again someday. So I'd say this is the good ending for Noah here, the best case scenario. He manages to find friends for life, and although half of them end up having to go back to their respective world at the end of the story for now, knowing Monolith Soft, he's gonna find some way back to meet up with them again. I mean, take a look at the post-credit scene. He hears the Agnian Offseer tune, and as he walks into an alley, he disappears from the screen. Depending on the contents of Wave 4 of the DLC, we may figure out what he is cooking. But now that the happiest Noah is out of the way, let's take a look at the most oppressive. So imagine Noah, but he was Anakin Skywalker. That's it. He had good intentions and founded the city as we know it today, but every time he attempted to take down Mobius, he would always come up just a bit short. And in each of these lives, Mio died as well, the love of his life. Eventually, this all put a toll on him, and he turned to the dark side, Mobius, so that he could save Mio, and that they could be together forever. Well, we know how the story goes at this point. M understood that his intentions were good by doing this, but he lost sight of the true goal he wanted to achieve, to defeat Mobius. It took M dying in front of him and a bit of convincing, but just like Darth Vader, he ended up turning back to the good side and helping in the defeat of Mobius. Admittedly, it wasn't as cool as Darth Vader throwing Palpatine off the edge. They just became a beam of light and took down Zed, but still, it was cool. One of the main reasons N became N was because he saw his past lives, including the one where he had a child with M, and then he died right in front of the child in the middle of the forest. Wait, what happened to that child? In the flashback, we see N lead the child to the middle of some forest, and then he just dies in front of him due to N having lived for 10 years and still having to conform to that lifespan. We never see this child again, at least in child form. I mean, it is plausible that the child just walked back the way they came, and N wanted to have a special moment between him and his child, but could he have not done this somewhere a little safer, like maybe his house or something? It's not like the ether isn't going to go out the window or something, this just seems like irresponsible parenting. Whatever became of this child anyway? Did they just die in the middle of the forest, or did they find their way back and live a somewhat normal life? They seem younger than a first-termer would be, so it appears that they don't have to conform to the Mobius 10-term lifespan, which is good. Admittedly, I do have a bit of a theory about this child. What if it somehow became the father of the Noah we know today? It makes no sense, I know, but Noah and Mio being alive and reborn in the game makes no sense. Even Mobius doesn't know how it happened. So it's not even beyond Monolith Soft to just throw something at the wall and see if it sticks, and then try to write a legit reason why it would be canon. Listen, I'm not the story writers, and stuff being crazy makes the game a bit more fun, but maybe we'll find out in the DLC who the true father of Noah is. So Noah and Mio, despite being alive as Mobius, were still able to be reborn in the life cycle of Mobius somehow. But is this the first iteration of Noah and Mio being reborn? Unless someone gets to their homecoming, you're stuck in the endless cycle of Mobius. We can safely assume Tyon, Lance, and Zena were stuck in this cycle, and Uni is confirmed since she has a memory of Mobius killing her. But what about Noah and Mio? It is kind of crazy that no Mobius noticed that they look a bit like M and N. Admittedly, most Mobius are idiots. I mean, how do you let 6 people and 2 Nopon break apart your entire infrastructure in 3 months? But still, unless proven otherwise, it's safe to assume Noah and Mio had to go back through the Mobius cycle. So there's so many different Mios and Noahs that we'll never see. We only get to see a snapshot of the perfect conditions for them, with the perfect group of friends and the perfect set of events happening. Even though Mobius tried their hardest and Zed preached that the passage of fate would happen, they weren't able to stop the true fate from happening. But I wonder how many lives it took for us to get to this outcome. I guess we'll never know. I suppose this shows the futility of the Mobius way of life. You can live so many different lives, but fate will eventually come through. Mobius can take control of 2 whole nations, capture a queen, and Ark, try to kill the city for the 2nd time, and still fate will come through. So make sure you do anything you want, kids, because fate will always prevail. Who knew there were so many different Noahs? Well, I hope you enjoyed this video regardless. And if you did, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow, and there's more Xenoblade 3 content on the way. If you have any topics you'd like me to cover, please leave them down in the comments below. I read every comment, even the 2,000-word essay ones. But with that, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you are. And this is Crystalized, signing out. Whoa, a post-credits cutscene. Who could have seen that coming? Well, thank you so much for watching the channel in 2022. If this video comes out when it's planned to, this will be the last video of 2022. And we hit 140 subscribers at the time of this recording. And we nearly hit 100,000 views total on the channel, which is crazy to think. A lot of channels never make it to 100,000 views, so I'm really appreciative of that. Even 140 subscribers. Not a lot of channels even hit that. But it's crazy to think that next year I'll be 3 years into making content. I don't know how long I'll keep making content for, but regardless, it's still been a lot of fun, and Xenoblade 3 has definitely rejuvenated my love for making content. But I really appreciate the support all of you have given on the channel. If you watched, or if you're watching this video in 2023 or some other great year, thank you for watching this video regardless, and maybe view this post-credits thing as a time capsule or something. But this time, Crystalized is truly signing out, and have a great 2023, everybody. Or whatever year you're in.